Hi, this video is a student guide for EmSAT for ADVETI students. I will speak in English, but everything I say is in Arabic on the screen. This video is test advice for grammar in English. Grammar is the rules of a sentence in English or how words go together in English. In the exam for ADVETI students, you need to focus on sections 1 and section 2 to score 875, 1100. Sections 3 and 4 are higher level, usually. Sometimes this might change, but usually it's a higher level. So make sure you work really hard on section 1 and section 2. There's a different time for each section, but usually it's about 30 seconds for each question. So just give yourself a chance, don't answer too quickly, give yourself 30 seconds to read, understand, think and choose the right answer. When you are studying, you need to understand that grammar point. So this is where attendance becomes a problem. If you keep missing classes and don't work on the grammar, then you won't have the accuracy to answer in 30 seconds of a question. So for example, look at this one here. My father, he work in office. My father works in an office. So the top one, I understand, it means the same thing, but it's not good grammar. We don't need he because we have my father. And for he, for third person, we use works. And for office, we have an. So these are the examples. When you're studying something simple like the present simple, then you need to be able to use it very accurately, this last word, so that you can understand and use it in the EmSAT. Here's an example of the type of question. So we have multiple choice questions. You need to read before the word and after the word. Don't just guess. It's not look, you need to know the grammar. So let's look at an example question here. Students who get a good score, blank, registered for the diploma course. The answers are were, to be, is being, will be. Now all of these are the same verb, be or are, okay? So we need to think, okay, which of these forms is the correct one? So let's start going through them and we'll decide which ones are not there. So we can take away is being. Quite simply, you could say being registered, that's fine, but you're not. The problem here is for one person, he is. But here we have students, we have more than one person, so that can't be the answer. We need to take away to be. To be registered is fine, but you can't say before to be, you would need to have another verb, need to be, have to be. Okay, so that's not there. Before this, we have score, that's not a verb. Then we need to take away were. Now, were registered is fine, but this verb here, students who get a good score were registered. So get is present and this is past, so we don't want to marry present with past in this sentence. Here the answer is will be. Why? Because it's actually called a conditional sentence. So students who get a good score will be registered. So we're telling them that when they get the good score, when this happens in the future, they will be registered for the score. So it's telling us this is the correct one. Then we also have grammar questions that are called sentence builders. You need to practice writing sentences every time you study a grammar point. So when you're listening to your teacher and your teacher says, can you write the sentences for me? You need to be writing long sentences so that you can do this part of the EmSAT. You need to put different grammar points together. So usually a teacher would tell you one grammar thing, but you need to start writing them together with other ones so that you can show a higher level. If you use English in your social media and your internet every single day, you're going to start seeing these forms put together and it's going to be helping you in the future. So let's look at an example. You need to drag all the words into the spaces to make a correct sentence. So I'm going to put all these words into this. Now the problem is 1 or 2 words like we had here, it's not that hard. But when you're putting 5 or 6 words, the chances of making a mistake are quite high. So you need to get them all right. The way I would recommend is to put words that go together and think of them. You can use a paper and a pencil, or you can use the computer screen in front of you, but just start thinking of them. So what words can we put together? So with study at the end, the only word that can go with, well, you could have I study, but the correct answer is to study. Then we've got the noun materials. Materials. So what is materials? It's like a book, maybe. So we put kind of together, kind of materials. This goes together as a clump of words. Then we have I and use, I use. And then you have this word should. Should is like a recommendation, like can or must. And we put that before the verb. So I can use, I must use, I should use. So you've got kind of materials, we've got I should use. We now need to decide which order they go together. So I asked my teacher, what did I ask my teacher? I'm asking about the materials. So I asked my teacher what kind of materials I should use to study. So that is all the advice I can give in this video for how to study for your grammar. Here is a video of the grammar section in the EmSAT mock exam so you can see how it works. Okay, so that's the end of the grammar video. Remember, for ADVETI students, we need to focus on grammar 1 and grammar 2. They have the questions which are for your level, so that you need to get those questions right to get the score you need. You need to answer quickly, about 30 seconds per each question. Don't spend a long time trying to think of an answer, move to the next one. And in class, you need to study your grammar carefully. You need to understand every grammar point so that when it comes to the EmSAT test, you can answer quickly and correctly. So good luck with your test.